former Oakcrest wrestler. He now runs Optimal Health Chiropractic over in Egg Harbor Township. So we wanted to kind of get his thoughts on the regional tournament and get a few memories from him from back in his glory days, as they say. Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Good. How's it going, Dave?
Can you hear me? We're all good on the phone lines?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right,
fine.
cool. Thanks, man. We weren't sure if we were going to get any guests on today. We're having some phone issues, so hopefully we got that worked out. First off, tell us real quick about Optimal Health. I know you started that about a year and a half ago, and how's things going for you?
Yeah, I'm a chiropractor now. I started my own practice, Optimal Health Chiropractic, in Egg Harbor Township on English Creek Ave, June of 2014. So
it's been a while, yeah. We're getting there.
Yeah, time flies. But,
it sure does, man.
Going well. I can't complain right now. Just kind of reaching out. Actually, when I get off the phone with you guys, I'm setting up a table at a CrossFit gym this morning. The Open started for the CrossFit season Thursday. So
nice. How can people get in touch with you if they're looking for some chiropractic advice?
The best way would be to call my office. My number is 609-415-2821, and I do a lot more than just your traditional chiropractic. I do a lot of sports injuries as well. Really specialize in soft tissue techniques like active release technique and Graston, which are really for more sprains and strains than your traditional chiropractic where you think of just cracking the back and realigning spines. So it's a good combination. Or I did just recently launch my website. It's www.chiropractic.fit.
Nice. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Now, how did you get into this? Is this something you've always been interested in? I know when I was in high school, I was pretty much interested in baseball. I had no idea what I was going to do for a career or a job or anything like that. I wasn't focused on that when I was 16, 17 years old. Was this something you were passionate about from an early age, or how did it come about?
I wouldn't say I was passionate about it from an early age, but it's funny because I'm on here to talk about wrestling. Wrestling kind of ties into why I'm a chiropractor today. One, I have an injury to my back that it's common in gymnasts that start at a young age, but I mean, if you think about it, wrestling, some of the movements are very similar to gymnastics. So I had an underlying spine issue that I hurt wrestling, I would say when I was in 4th or 5th grade now. And I remember I heard it Friday night. I could barely walk over the weekend, and I went to the chiropractor that Monday and walked out Monday night, 80% better, went back Wednesday, and was, back on the mat by Friday. So I always went to chiropractors kind of off and on because wrestling is demanding on your body sometimes when you wake up with a stiff back or sore neck. So I kind of always use the chiropractor throughout the season when I needed them here and there. That being said, I never really wanted to be a chiropractor until my junior year of college, when my sister got hurt playing soccer, and it was a chiropractor that actually helped her foot and kept her on the field. And then I went in. Every time she went to him, he would talk really about me in high school wrestling. He was a big fan of the sport. So I went in, shouted to him one day, and realized chiropractic's a lot more than just the spine, and here I am today. Started my own practice and
nice
talking to you guys.
We're talking with Rick Carlson. He operates Optimal Health Chiropractic in Egg Harbor Township. Stop by and see him on English Creek Road if you need some chiropractic work done. Rick, we wanted to get you on and kind of go through some of your memories of the regional tournament. I know it's a great time of year for high school wrestling and probably brings back a lot of memories for you. What do you remember most about these last couple weekends? You were at Oakcrest in, the late 90s, I guess?
No, early 2000s. I graduated high school in 2004. Regions, they were a fun time. When I grew up, this area in wrestling was stacked. Absegami, I think when I went to school, were 4-time state champs, and I actually grew up with everybody on that team. So regions were cool because districts, I remember, you're kind of, rooting against the cow. Everyone is rooting against Absegami. And it's kind of, all the local guys competition. But once you get to regionals, it's more than that. You kind of became friends with all the cow, rooting for, your fellow Cape Atlantic League guys
Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing about the regionals. You get guys, all of a sudden you got kids from maybe the prep heading to EHT to work out with those guys, or Absegami guys getting together with Oakcrest guys to work out. So that's kind of a neat thing about regions. You go from hating each other to wrestling each other in the practice room to try to get ready to make that next step.
Yeah, that was a fun week, actually. I remember my freshman, sophomore year, we went to Absegami and wrestled with those guys, and then junior, senior with Buna. And it was fun kind of molding with different groups, talking to the different coaches, giving you strategies when, Buna wrestled Delsey, because we didn't wrestle Delsey that year. Different things teaming up. And a lot of it at the regional level, a lot of these guys have been wrestling each other since, 5th, 6th grade. So it was, you're kind of like hatred for each other becomes a friendship as you keep advancing to, further steps.
Now, how did you make out in regionals your junior and senior year?
I took second twice in regionals. Actually, a little disappointed about those, but just can't complain.
What do you remember about those final matches? I mean, this is kind of what you work for. Everybody in high school works for that regional final. There's only a select few that go on to win a state championship. So this is the way to really make your mark as a region champ. And what do you remember about that? What you were feeling when your name's introduced as the finalist from Oakcrest. That would be a huge thrill for you.
Yeah, it is. At the same time, when I was in regionals, they were at Absegami districts and regions, so it was kind of almost like a repeat of the week before. Mm. So I just kind of tried to stay focused, knowing, every match is now a competitive match, not like districts. Sometimes the first round, you kind of know if you're going to win or not, but at regions, there's so many upsets. So just kind of being there, though, staying focused, I remember, and it was almost kind of a repeat. I tried to keep it in my mind of the week before, standing under the lights at Absegami in front of the bigger crowd, but, just staying focused, knowing, your skills brought you there, so you got to go out and wrestle your match.
How nervous were you? I mean, you're talking about, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and the entire gym is focused on them. That's a lot to put on a kid's shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a little kid watching like Lay Black and some of those guys, and always like being nervous for them. So, you have a big match coming up, so you kind of put it out of your mind. At least I did at the time. I remember, you don't really notice the huge crowds.
We're talking with Rick Carlson, former Oakcrest Falcon wrestler. He's also now a chiropractor, has his own place over there, Optimal Health Chiropractic in Egg Harbor Township. Rick, tell me about the state championships. You get to Boardwalk Hall. What was your first experience of that like? I mean, you walk in and you're in this giant arena and, 10,000 people looking down at you. What was going through your mind your first match at States when you first made it there?
Well, my junior year when I made it, really there wasn't as much pressure on me as senior year. So I was kind of enjoying the moment. It actually reminded me, same thing, from wrestling from such a young age, making it to national levels. Not that it's as big as the States, but when you were, 7, 8 years old, wrestling in the Penn State arena, kind of with the staging area in the back, it reminded me when I was being little, the fun tournaments that we would travel to. So my junior year, I just enjoyed it. The staging area, it's a different atmosphere than regions and districts.
Did you get
kind of went out there not knowing what to expect and, did my best. I remember I won my first match, lost my second, won the third, lost my fourth, something like that. But really just tried to enjoy it. But it's same thing. You kind of can't let the crowds overwhelm you.
Did you get the bubble guts?
Oh, yeah.
Feel like you needed the puke bucket for a minute?
Yeah, right up until the whistle blows, and then it just all goes away. And
then you're back in your element, right?
Yeah, it's funny because, 10,000 people there, I don't know how many people, but once the whistle blows, you don't hear anything. You just hear your coaches somehow, and that's it.
Good stuff, Rick. We're going to let you get going, and I know you got a busy day coming up. Thanks for taking a few minutes before you go. Let the folks know again how they can get in touch with you if they need your services for for chiropractic.
Yes, thanks. Nice talking to you. I'm a chiropractor located in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey on English Creek Ave. My office number is 609-415-2821, or you could check me out on my website, www.chiropractic.fit.
Good stuff, Rick. Appreciate you taking a walk down memory lane with us. And I'm sure you'll be keeping tabs on the regionals and state championships the next 2 weeks. Fun talking to you, buddy. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right, thanks. Nice talking to you.
You got it. That was Rick Carlson, former Oakcrest Falcon.